Hey, what's up? Sorry about that. I didn't know there were 7 people watching. Something's going on. Give me 1 second. I'll get it straightened out. Hello, how are you? What's up, man? No, I hadn't done this in a while, and I thought I would go live and maybe chat with you guys. Um, see what's going on. Can you guys hear me okay? I haven't done this in a little while, so I'm just trying to make sure this is working okay. Hey, let me know if the sound's okay. Cool. Happy birthday. Yeah, I took a nap, but my sleep is still screwed up. I feel kind of tired. Um, cool. Glad you can hear me. Um, just doing everything. Oh, there goes my dog. I'm sorry. Be quiet. Um, just doing everything I do between, making videos, going to film stuff. Editing videos takes a long time, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the television. Let me turn that down. I apologize. But in any case, you know, the video I put up last, the second part of the movie theater, believe it or not, that took me um, probably about 4.5, 5 hours to edit. And just between work and doing everything else that I do, I've had a little lack of sleep lately and a little trouble sleeping. And thanks, I appreciate it. Anyways, I've just been having trouble getting sleep, and to try to get these videos up and make sure I put them up. I've been staying up pretty late to edit. And the other day when we took that trip, we got up at 4 in the morning, and I didn't go to bed that night till probably 1, 2, 3 in the morning. I don't know. I was almost up for 24 hours, and then I keep taking naps, not getting enough sleep at night, taking naps and staying up late, and I got to get it straightened out. Oh, I will. I did. I'm tempted to put another video together, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I really want to go do some more exploring. I've got a list of places to go that I think you guys will enjoy, but I just got to get a chance to get out and get Andrew to come with me. Thanks, Amy. Yeah, I have a little complaint. I got that new camera and stabilizer, and I don't really like the way it sounds. It's not really picking up the ambient sounds real well when I'm exploring, and there's kind of a background noise. I think it might be from the stabilizer. And, well, thanks for your concern. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sure you're not the only person that worries about me. I think some of my family does too. But yeah, I explore St. Louis, um, and other places as well. recently, I've been hitting St. Louis. We took like a 3-hour road trip to go and film down near a place called Cairo, Illinois. And I'd probably go back there. There was a bunch of big houses and stuff that I didn't get into. We just ran out of time. And anyways, but yeah, I've got a bunch of places in St. Louis lined up too. But I'd like to get to other cities, Detroit, wherever, Memphis, I don't know. But the firearm problem is that I'm trespassing in, you know, buildings. So I do own firearms, but I'm not going to carry them because, like I say, I'm trespassing and I don't want the problem. So, it's just probably not a good idea to carry them when you're trespassing all the time in buildings. Keemstar sent me. Who's Keemstar? And where's the dangerous place at? Yeah, the taser. I talked to a police officer and asked him, and he said a taser kind of be crossing the line too. One of the tasers that fires the contacts out. Um, he said that'd get me in trouble too. I probably just plan on sticking with a knife and mace. You know, I just you know don't want to get caught and get concealed weapon charges and trespassing and everything else. If I'm not carrying weapons, or at least not ones that'll get me in a lot of trouble, I could probably talk myself out of the problem. Egypt Valley, Ohio. Yeah, I've been trying to. Couple times I tried to contact this guy that explores in Ohio, and he responded to me a couple times, but he never came and sent me a more detailed message because he has about the same amount of subscribers as I do, and I've thought about trying to maybe collaborate with him or go up there and explore in Ohio. I told him if he ever wanted to come down here, um, I'd be happy to host him here. So yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of some different people. It's kind of tough. Some of the real big guys, they don't respond. They've got so many people trying to talk to them, but other people that are a little smaller than my channel or um, around the same size that I've been contacting. I get a hold of them sometimes, but you know, they never really seem to go back and forth talking to me, so that we can maybe develop a little bit of rapport and um, set up a time to get together. So yeah, I'm always around St. Louis though. Um, like I said, I'm anticipating doing traveling. Um, I do. There's a lot of historic stuff. I mean, I live by a gold mine. St. Louis area. There's a lot of places around here that are abandoned. It's a little bit of an untapped gold mine for exploring. So I do a lot of things here, but I am looking forward to taking some more road trips with Andrew to film. And that's crazy. Um, got shot by a Klansman. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. It sounds kind of scary. I'm not sure if I'd be a great fit there. I'm not sure what would happen there. So, Man, I'm not sure why my stream's only in what do you call it? 480. So sorry about that. And give me a second. I'm trying to get back to the chat box so I can see what you guys are saying. Come on. Hopefully this doesn't freeze up on me and I don't have to hit a restart. That would suck. So, man, I'm trying. Let me get back to the chat box, guys. Something's going on here and it's not oh, there we go. Maybe this will work. I'm backing up, so maybe okay. All right, I'm back. Yeah, man, there's places in Alton that are good to go. There's some places that I've been in Alton that are thanks, Barbara. And yeah, that'd be cool to be able to team up with them. You know what I wish sometimes? I wish I was a little more animated. My narrations, I'm pretty monotone, and um, sometimes, I can get pretty, wound up sometimes and get pretty crazy. But sometimes I'm like, man, I'm so like serious and deadpan when I narrate, and you know, like sleepy time, and I'm like, man, I wish I was a little bit more entertaining with that. Um, the G Team Paranormal Investigators is Florida. I've never watched them. I've watched Omar Gosh, though. I just never have clicked on them yet. I'm sure I will though. And yeah, I try not to ever go alone. I have before though. I hope it never comes to that though. Hopefully, I'll always have somebody to explore with, and hopefully Andrew sticks around because I really like exploring with him. Um, Places in Alton. There's some places on my channel that are in Alton, man. Um, get at me through Facebook, and if you're local, maybe I can take you to a couple places. Tattoo Tony Alton with no spaces on Facebook. But of course, you can't be a minor because I'm not gonna take a kid exploring. Um, Thanks for subscribing. Is it Akasha? I hope I said that right. Yeah, it's technically probably trespassing because somebody owns it. Myra, either the city owns it, and usually there was a condemned sign that says no trespassing, but a lot of times they're worn off and they're gone. Somebody owns it. I mean, you're trespassing on somebody's property. The difference is if there's not any no trespassing signs and it's already open, the door's open, then there's differences between trespassing and criminal trespassing. So, um, yeah, I know they pair up constantly. They must live near each other. Yeah, thanks, Wesley. Yeah, tried to get a hold of him tonight to plan our next adventures. He might be sleeping though. He wakes up at 4 every morning to go to work, so I haven't been able to reach him. But um, and oh, that's cool. You have a night vision. But no, I was talking to Nintendo. Yeah, Nintendo hit me up on my Facebook page. Like I said, Tattoo Tony Alton. Send me a message, and I'll get back with you. There are a few places over here in Alton to explore, and maybe I'll show you a couple. Hey, thanks. Happy Saturday night to you too. Thanks for jumping on. Um, what do I got coming up? I guess that's something I could tell you guys. I've got a crummy little old motel that I went in Cairo, Illinois, and a police officer actually showed up to talk to us, and I didn't film him. I didn't want to do that, but you can hear us talking about it, kind of when he pulled up and when they left, and then another cop came by. He was actually pretty cool though. Cool. I wish they'd restore a theater like that near us. But anyways, that's cool. So anyways, yeah, if you're a fan of if you ever talk to any of these other YouTubers, tell them I said hi. If you guys are fans on somebody else's channel, maybe I can go and yeah, I know, but I just didn't want to film him. I'm not trying to be a pain in the butt. We were trespassing and he came and he was cool. He said, "Hey guys, be safe." He said, "I just wanted to make sure you guys weren't over here, drug activity or something." As soon as he, came up and saw us, and I walked straight up to him and started talking to him, and he saw our cameras, and he was really cool. He was actually a younger guy who watches urban exploring, and he took my channel name. He said he was going to check it out. And down where they're at, there's tons of abandoned stuff. So he told me a lot of people down there just explore what's around. They don't film, but they explore stuff for fun because there's not much to do down there. It's just tons of abandonment. And so he was really cool, and I didn't want to put him on film. Um, and yeah, technically you might be able to film officers, but there are times when you can get arrested if they're in the middle of doing something and you film them. It's possible. I mean, and you can get out of it, but then you have to pay for a lawyer, and it's just a big hassle. So I think the best bet is, unless you really have to, just avoid. So yeah, Dan Bell. Yeah, I know Dan Bell. He messaged me a couple times a long time ago when I was just um just a fan of his, and I told him if he ever came to St. Louis, I'd be happy to, show him around. I told him I didn't even want anything from him. He didn't have to, feature me or give me a shout out. I just would be interested in taking him around, and I'd host him. But I didn't hear back from him. Oh, he said he came through. He said he came through St. Louis and filmed something, but it was like not. It wasn't even really St. Louis. It was on the outskirts in Hazelwood, and it was kind of a lame, newer abandoned hotel. And I was really surprised that he passed through St. Louis, because St. Louis is damn near like Detroit. And he passed through here and didn't film jack crap. So, um, yeah, I know he's done a couple things as a carpetbagger. But anyways, um, if no, I wish I could. I'm pretty bad at learning other languages. Um, I um, have worked with. By the way, guys, I'm reading all your yeah, I like Texas. I'm a horror fan, man. Sure, Steely. I'm a big horror fan. And yeah, um, Mark Twain's house was in terrible disrepair. Even in the 90s, it looked a lot better than it does today. It's really gone downhill really fast. But yeah, the Carpetbagger and Dan Bell are two of my favorites. I used to message back and forth a little bit with the Carpetbagger and just say hi, and he said maybe if he ever made it up to St. Louis, he might hit me up or something. He's a cool guy. Um, doing pretty good. But anyways, yeah, I'm really looking forward to. That's something I haven't done yet, is collaborated with another YouTuber that has some audience. It'd be great if it was, one of my favorites that I got to collaborate with. Um, but anybody, I'm just interested in collaborating with anybody that has a somewhat serious YouTube channel. Yeah, you know, I used to have quite a few horror movies, and I've watched tons and tons of horror movies. Um, a lot of horror movies that people don't even know because they're not like your main ones. Everybody knows Friday the 13th and Halloween, but I've watched tons of horror films. I haven't watched them any in quite a long time, but I'll tell you a good one that's about an abandoned hospital. It's called Session 9, and you should really watch that movie. It's really cool. These guys are removing asbestos from an old hospital, and crazy paranormal stuff starts to happen, and they kind of start to go crazy. But that's a really enjoyable movie. No, wish I could speak Spanish. I worked with a lot of guys that would come on J1 visas for Mexico, and that spoke, mostly Spanish. And I tried to learn while I was working. Yeah, I wish it was a cold, rainy night here. It is kind of cold for our area. We're going through a cold spell, but yeah, it would be cool if it was storming. Um, no, Session 9 is a movie, but check that out. Yeah, I wish somebody would save it, but here's the thing: everybody left the cities a long time ago. I was just watching a documentary on YouTube last night called "The Myth of Pruitt-Igoe." Pruitt-Igoe was one of the most famous projects in the United States. It was one of the first housing projects in the U.S. And during that film, they explained urban plight and segregation in cities, how between banks, realtors, and laws they segregated cities between poor and the people who had something, and then later along racial lines. And then they talked about how the federal government promoted the outward expansion away from cities because they were giving really cheap and easy loans to move out to the suburbs, and everybody, all the jobs and all the people, fled the suburbs. And quite frankly, a lot of people left the cities because there were a lot of poor, I guess, kind of sharecroppers, uh, farmers in the South, and a lot of African Americans that moved into the city, and a lot of white people left on, because they didn't want to be, they wanted to be segregated. And so, anyways, through that stretch, I mean, those churches and those buildings that you think somebody should save, they've been going downhill for, um, awesome, Danny boy, that's cool. But so anyways, these buildings have been going downhill for a long time, and I hear people say, well, those shit cities should save. They don't have enough money to save them. If people wanted to save what was in urban areas, the best thing you could do is move to an urban area and spend money in an urban area, and then there would be, money there, and a reason and a way to save buildings. Um, yeah, Steely, that's a cool movie, man. Yeah, yeah, it was storming. When I was in Cairo, it stormed pretty good on the way back. We could hardly see in the rain. Um, let's see. Yeah, there was a lot, but if you guys really want to know about, get some good insight into the plight of urban areas, um, watch Pruitt-Igoe the Myth. There's a trailer for it, but there's like a full hour and a half, hour and 40-minute documentary, and that later on, towards the middle of it or later on, they explain what was going on with bankers, different businesses, and basically how our old urban areas collapsed, and what was going on. Yeah, those arcade games were crazy. So yeah, St. Louis was a city that was approaching a million and now only has 300 and something thousand people in the city limits. Another thing that hurt the city of St. Louis is they were unable to annex land. The borders to the city of St. Louis had been locked in place legally a long time ago. So yeah, I want to check out the yeah, Pruitt-Igoe. But anyways, Yeah, I want to check out some of the old breweries. I think there's one that you can explore. And anyways, if any of you guys, man, go on Tattoo Tony Alton on Facebook. Um, yeah, like I said, there's a lot of reasons. It would take me a long time to explain it. Sorry, I was saying goodnight to my wife. That's why my head went back like that. But yeah, there's so many abandoned properties because the area I live in and St. Louis right by me are old industrial towns that had, all kinds of industry, steel, glass manufacturers, breweries, train, I couldn't even name all the stuff that was manufactured here, and the majority of those jobs are gone. They moved. Not all of them went overseas. First, they just moved out to other areas in our country, and they moved closer to different suburbs, and people moved out to the suburbs, and businesses moved out, and so the reason there's so many abandoned buildings is because we went from a population of 1 million down to 300,000, and a third of it, 2/3 of it sits vacant. And most of it's probably gone already. Um, but anyways, back to where I was. What was I saying? Holy cow! Um, Sorry about that. Dang, lost my train of thought there. Let me figure out what I was talking about. And I'm also watching myself on the screen and waiting for it to catch up. Yeah, it's a shame. Um, but anyway, St. Louis was landlocked for a long. I mean, it's still landlocked into an area. Some cities are starting to annex out. I don't know. That's a good question. Um, yeah, Camden. I'd love to see Camden, New Jersey. I'd love to travel there. That'd be awesome. Um, Yeah, I mean, a lot of St. Louis. Now that I have a stabilizer and a GoPro, I'll film a lot of the north side for you, and that's how it looks too. I see streets and blocks and areas where there's just trash scattered all over the street, couches, old microwaves, TVs, trash all the way down the alley, and everything is abandoned, boarded up, and busted down. Um, so lots of urban blight. But so anyways, some cities have annexed areas. Like technically, the population of Kansas City, Missouri, for instance, is larger than St. Louis, but they kept expanding their city's boundaries to cover what are suburbs in St. Louis. You'll drive even from St. Louis into older suburbs that only existed since maybe the 1920s, and you'll think you're still in the city, but you're not. You're in another little town or municipality, and you would never know that you crossed out of the city's boundaries. And then even further out, some like North County and some of our counties, South County, some parts that lie, I mean, the streets go right into these other cities. Some metropolitan areas have been able to expand their borders and city limits to incorporate these other tracts of land where people moved. That way, they kept those areas as a tax base. St. Louis's failure was they landlocked themselves a long time ago and were not able to expand and annex in suburbs, so they were unable to have any of that. So as people moved right outside the city and developed to these other areas, St. Louis was unable to expand and make them part of their tax base. And what really happened at Pruitt-Igoe, I mean, there's probably lots of things, but what really happened was the place went downhill because the city didn't take care of it. They didn't have any money to. It was well maintained. It looked nice. They had security all the time at first. They had people cleaning up all the time, and it was well maintained. And then stuff started going downhill. The elevators didn't break or didn't work. People would get stuck in the elevator. I mean, it just no good security. People would come in from other areas to commit crime and deal drugs there, and it lost tenants due to um, um, but it looks, I don't know, it started to get bad. People started to move out, and I don't know. Watch that documentary. You could learn a lot. Um, yeah, creepy places. I tried to search for creepy places, man. A lot of the places I go are creepy, period, even if they don't look visually. Like some of the nighttime videos I've done, those are pretty creepy, and they look creepy, and it's at night. But, but, yeah, I'd love to go to Buffalo and Akron too. I want to go everywhere. So, yeah, there was a presidential debate held in St. Louis. Um, cool, man, South St. Louis. But yeah, if any of you guys do any research, there's some websites out there that have information on St. Louis architecture. I'm not telling you to do my job for me, but if you want to look stuff up and you find stuff that you think that you know you might suggest to me or whatever, then shoot it over my way. Be happy to see it. Um, yeah, those are creepy. How am I supporting my work? Well, with my own money, and I have a few people who I I have a few supporters who give me a little bit of revenue to help support it through Patreon. Patreon, you can pledge as little as $1 a month, and so I got a couple people that give me $20 a month, a couple that give me five, somebody that gives me $1 a month, and that helps, believe it or not, because I've got to buy new filters for my respirators, and I've got to buy gas and wear and tear on the vehicle, and driving around forever, and yeah, I make a little bit off revenue, but a lot of the videos, when it's all said and done, I make 4, 5, $6 off them. Um, I had a few videos where, yeah, I should have put yeah, that might have hurt. That would have been crazy. But anyways, I made a little bit more revenue off a few videos that did well. And one thing I keep trying to get people to do is it seems like pretty reliably I have about 1,000 people watch my videos that are supporters. And if everybody would just hit the like button that enjoys my videos, it would help tremendously. Um, because I suppose that those same 900 1,000 people that seem to watch everything I put up, regardless, if they all hit the like button, then YouTube would rank my videos higher, more people would watch them, and I would make a little bit more off the ads that play. Because if I make any money off the ads that play, um, I'm going to take trips and spend it to film more locations and travel and make more cool videos for you guys to watch. Um, I did pretty good with one video. It had like 1.3 million views, and I spent that uh, on a trip. I gave some to Andrew to help him out because I couldn't do this without him. And I got a new camera and a stabilizer to be able to shoot better video, clearer, better video, more stable. And so I kind of take a loss on it, but I like to do it, and I get a little bit back to help me. You know, yeah, and like the videos too, every video, like every video, unless you hate it, and then don't like it. But yeah, I seen Abandoned on the Vice Cable channel. Dude, Steely, those schools are on my channel. One of them I haven't released yet, but I explored for like 3 hours in a giant school that isn't put up yet. And I also have like 4 or 5 parts. They put up Cleveland High School on the Vice show Abandoned, okay? And all they showed was the auditorium and the gym, maybe the pool. And I thank you guys. I appreciate it. So, anyways, I went through the whole Cleveland school and I filmed every room that had any interest: the music room, the science lab, the gym, the pool, the cafeteria, the boiler room, probably said music room. I showed a yearbook. I've heard that now that school's being watched by police and you can't get in. But anyways, when the guy went on Vice, it was amazing footage because they had a, professional um, cinematographer, I guess, with a good camera. But they didn't show very much of the school. And he also had a police go in and sweep it for him before he went in. So, I mean, it's a cool show, and Vice is one of my favorites, so I'm not trying to badmouth them. But the guy from Vice had the police go in and look before him, and he had permission, and the police officer had a gun to make sure it was safe for him. And here I go, just running up looking for an entry and running in and going through the whole place. and so, anyways, um, anyways, but yeah, the abandoned castle school, abandoned haunted school. Go look under my school playlist. I need to categorize my playlist. I haven't done that in a while, and I've been kind of slacking. But if you go look, that school is amazing, and that shows a school that was showed on Vice, and but it's in a lot more detail. And I think I tried to do a really good job. I spent a lot of time editing those videos, and they hardly got any views, which surprised me. I mean, I did sound effects, um, some music. They were really cool. Yeah, well, thanks. I appreciate it, Akasha, if I said that right. Um, but anyways, yeah, I like old small towns. My beard is painted. Uh, I don't know. It's uneven and a little patchy right now, but yeah, I painted it. I'm not sure what that means, but no, cities are cool. There's a lot of culture and history in cities. See, that's the thing is everywhere has its advantages. The only place I really don't care for are suburbs, to be honest with you, because they're boring. They don't have a lot of history, and everything looks the same. But to some people, they have their advantages. But history, if you like history, cities are full of history. Um, they have a lot of different culture. You can see people a lot of times from all over the world, different cultures, um, eat at different restaurants. You know, there's tons of different restaurants. There's a lot of shows. See, I go to instead of concerts, I call them shows. I go see bands play that are um, on independent labels. Different all kinds of music really, but um, I go and see them play in clubs where you pay uh, you pay $10-15 and you go see a nationally touring underground band in a club where you can stand right on the stage if you want. So um, yeah, Pittsburgh's cool, but yeah, I live in a smaller city near St. Louis. I'm about 20 minutes from downtown St. Louis, but my town was founded in the 1800s and it has a lot of history. There's cool history in small towns. I like them too. Older, I live in a river town that was an industrial town, and at one point it was actually growing faster than St. Louis. And but in any case, there's a lot of history to it. But the city of St. Louis has so much more history because it's larger, and there was so much more business, trade, and migration and immigrants that came from all over the world. Um, yeah, they run through them pretty. Yeah, it is. But again, Steely, I love Vice. Like their news stories are fantastic when they travel around the world. They give more detail and tell you what's going on those on their news stories more than you'll ever get um, more than you ever get on cable news. And So, I mean, I love Vice. Vice was also like a punk fanzine. I've got some records that are on Vice Records, that are different, punk bands on Vice. Oh, you live an hour from Cleveland? Cleveland would be a good city to explore, wouldn't it? How far is Cleveland from St. Louis? There's a guy that I'm trying to get a hold of in Ohio to see if he would like to collaborate. It's Exploring with Hunter. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he's responded to me a couple times on messages. I've told him he should come down here. Um, so message me on Facebook or something about Cleveland, and if you can, see if anybody can get a hold of that Exploring with Hunter dude and see if he'd want to explore with me. Um, 'Cause I'd like to come up there. I wonder how far Cleveland is. I could probably drive there in a day and come and explore for a day and drive back home once I make some revenue to cover it on. If I get some, I could stack up my revenue for a couple months. And what'll be my next place? I'm not sure. I explored an abandoned hospital um, in Cairo, Illinois, and I have a motel in a big house I explored there. And damn, it's not that far. It's 8 hours and 23 minutes to Cleveland. That's not that far. I could come up there. I'd have to make it a cheap trip. I need a way to cover, gas and maybe cheap lodging, and I can eat cheap, but hopefully, yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested in seeing if he'd want to meet up in Cleveland, but um, Heidi, if you know of anybody that knows where abandoned stuff is in Cleveland, um, then yeah, I'm thinking about coming up to Cleveland for real. Um, get a hold of me. It's 8.5 hours, Heidi. Get a hold of me on Facebook and send me a Facebook message. And maybe if you could ask around or know anybody that explores around there, or maybe you know of some big cool abandoned stuff around Cleveland. Um, and I can figure out how to get up there to Cleveland in the next couple months to film. That'd be cool. I'd love to do that soon because I bet Cleveland has a lot of abandoned stuff. It's probably a city similar to St. Louis. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. They have tons of food. That's good. I need food to live. I need water though. I could probably come up there and survive without eating, but I'd have to have water. But it looks like Cleveland's right on a lake, although I think the water there might be poisonous. Um, I might glow or turn neon. But anyways, um, yeah, I mean Cleveland's got to have abandoned stuff, right? It's Tell us more about your explorations. Well, boy, Cleveland, huh? I get you, bozo. You're crazy. That's okay though. I'm a little crazy myself. Um, so let's see. Tell us about my explorations. Man, I kind of there. A lot of them are on film. I'm not sure what to say, man. They're kind of creepy. Uh, you could fall through the floor. There's asbestos floating around in there. There's lead. There's black mold, and there's drug addicts and mentally ill homeless people that crap right next to where they sleep, and you find needles and crack pipes, and I worry about getting robbed. I mean, that all sums it up in a nutshell pretty much, and worry about the cops coming or somebody robbing us. I mean, that kind of. I'll tell you, I got something to tell you. I'm trying to think of what to say. But Renzo, I have a piece of footage that I might take a little bit of a paranormal angle with. I really don't know what caused it or happened. It may be explainable. But there was a school they showed on Vice that I haven't put up yet, one that I explored a ways back, and we kept hearing slamming upstairs, and I thought someone was up there like slamming stuff and breaking things, and it kind of got my adrenaline going a little bit, and so we were being kind of quiet and trying to not make a lot of noise and walk and listen because I really wanted to explore and film the school, but we had seen in the school a couple rooms or closets that homeless people had set up that they were sleeping in and had all their stuff in. So we didn't know if somebody was in there or what, but stuff was like slamming hard, pounding and making noise and stuff. So uh, we're still hearing this stuff, and we get up to like the second or third floor, and we go in this room, and we're looking around, and then I start to hear, stuff slamming again and hearing this noise. So I kind of shut the door quietly, and we stood there kind of in the corner at the entryway to the door. And I peeked out the little window because it's a school and it's got a little rectangular window. And I looked out that window, and I don't know if I realized it at the time, but I was looking at my footage and saw it. And there's a door to a classroom that's like this, and it moves a little bit and stops, and then it moves a bunch more. And so that's kind of cool. I may, sometimes I do stuff to help get views, take it for what it is. I don't know what would have moved it. I don't know if it could have been the wind by chance or something. I'm not sure. But we're in a really large building, inside a really large building. And like I said, I'm not a, you know, so, and it moves a little and then moves more, and it moves on its own. So that clip will be put up at some point. I'll put that up and you can see it. Yeah, do Texas, man. Make the time, man. I live a hectic life right now trying to keep up with all this stuff, but it keeps me out of trouble other than trespassing. So, um, yeah, I know where some cool stuff is right now that's sitting there that I'd like to take, but I'm not gonna take it, because the thing is one, it doesn't belong to me, and then I become a thief. And two, I like finding the cool stuff in the places. And a lot of people do take everything that's cool. There's places that are all stripped out where there would have been a lot of stuff left to find when you're exploring, but people stole it all already. But sometimes I find little stuff uh, that makes it cool. I was in an abandoned theater and found a 1960s Good and Plenty box. Or I was in a house and I found an old metal scooter from like the 40s or something and some old toys in the house. And I leave that stuff because, number one, I'm not a thief. I know it might just sit there and somebody else might take it, or it might get just become decayed. But I mean, I guess I'm kind of leaving it there so if somebody else explores, they have something cool to see. I don't know. I just don't do that. And plus, if I took all the stuff that I thought was kind of neat out of buildings, my house would be full, and I already have too much crap to be honest with you. So that's another good reason. Um, yeah, Chinatowns are cool. We have an area in St. Louis where there's a higher concentration of Asians. It's not really a big Chinatown type area, not like in Chicago and New York and maybe Los Angeles or you know. So um, I could go around it sometime and just do some. I may do some like kind of B-roll stuff sometimes, like interesting places I go on the street. I've been kind of tossing that up because there's a lot of abandoned places, and that's my favorite, and I want to explore those. But I've thought about doing some footage when I just go to interesting places that I go that are kind of different or cool, just so people on my channel can see where it is that I go, just see somewhere different. Because a lot of guys do, like daily blogs and stuff, and my channel's about preserving architectural history and old homes and showing decay and showing grimy and gritty stuff. But actually, I have a second channel set up, and I'll have to give that to you guys. I don't have any footage on it yet, but I'm thinking about putting all my live streams on that channel, and I'm thinking about putting up other footage like cool places I go, interesting street footage, stuff I see where it's not necessarily, a feature explore. Putting that on a second channel, kind of like how Dan Bill has Film It, Maybe you see a cool building, you look through the windows, but you can't explore inside, and it's cool enough to capture, but, maybe people, so, yeah, but I also leave it to rot so somebody else can see it, because somebody else left it so I could see it, and there's a lot of other photographers and stuff that like to go and shoot photos of things. Somebody the other day asked me on my channel, they were pretty cool. They turned out to be pretty cool, but they asked me, they said, "Do you even have any tattoos?" And I've told them, I said, "That's a silly, silly question." I said, "Of course I have them. I have some good ones, I have some crummy ones, but I have tattoos. I'm kind of out of space on my legs and arms, but that'd be kind of silly if I called myself Tattoo Tony and had one tattoo, wouldn't it?" I used to also work in a tattoo shop. Um, I was an apprentice a couple times, had a couple apprenticeships, and I tattooed for a while. But anyways, uh, I'm planning. By the way, I'm planning on getting a tattoo, and what my idea is I'm gonna get a tattoo that says Tattoo Tony Alton. Uh, my sister is a tattooer. She works in St. Louis, and I'm thinking about having her give me like a channel logo tattoo, or tattooing my channel's name on me. And I'm going to have Andrew film it and do time lapse video where we can speed up like an hour tattoo or 2 hours or whatever into being like 30 seconds so you can see it going super fast. And then I'm thinking about making that my channel intro. I thought that'd be kind of cool. So, um, anyways, yeah, I got a bunch of old crummy like American traditional tattoos. Some of them are good. I like American traditional tattoos, but sometimes people don't appreciate them because they want to see portraits or stuff that looks real. But I got a bunch of old school tattoos. Um, Let me show you one. I'll show you one on my leg that my sister did, if you can see it. Oh, let's see. So, anyways, hard for me to talk and show you all that. Man, the nurse is probably might look out of proportion because of the way it's stretched. I'm trying to figure out how to show the nurse to you. Then let's see. Uh, huh. Anyways, enough of that. But as you can see, uh, that's where the channel name comes from. So I've been getting them for a long time. Some of them are varying quality. They're pretty much all American traditional tattoos. And well, be honest with you, my sister's busy a lot. She stays booked. Like she's booked 2 months out. If you call her for an appointment, it's 2 months out to get in. And she's so busy. Um, she doesn't charge me full price usually. I mean, if she does, that's fine. But she usually doesn't because I'm a family member. But she's usually busy, taking care of her, paying clients. So, I don't want to be a pain and bug her all the time. And like I said, she's booked like 2 months at a time. So, I mean, I get them, but I get them slowly. Look at my eye there. I was stretching my eye. Look kind of deformed. But yeah, it's all old school stuff. So I got a panther that's a cover up. But yeah, some of them are kind of hard to show. Yeah, have a great night, man. So some of these I've been getting them, like I said, since I was 18 and I'm 36. So I've been getting little pieces, bits in here, little pieces, little bits and pieces here and there. I was having trouble spit that out. But anyways, I've been getting little bits and pieces here and there for, I guess, 18 years now. So I didn't, like get them all yesterday or, get them all in the last 3 years when they got real popular. I've been getting them for a long time. Yeah, get a drone. Shit. If I get another couple hit videos, I'll tell you what, I'll take some, if er, I get some videos that do real well, I start getting 100, 200, 3, 4, 5, a million views, you know. Um, I'll buy a drone and give you guys some drone footage and um, I will you know, travel. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Real Dream Bozo, piece by piece. That's the old traditional way of doing it. Now people plan out a whole sleeve and they get a whole, there's nothing wrong with it. They get a big picture and it all flows as one piece and but yeah, the old school way is just, you get a wild hair up your ass and get a tattoo and then you get another one, you get them here and there. I've got some when I traveled. I got one in Nashville, Tennessee. I've got them from different people and you get pieces here and there. And eventually if you keep getting them, you end up covered with patchwork all over yourself. Like I said, my legs are pretty much covered. There's not a lot of space, and my arms are too. Even the insides of my arms, like under here, are covered with stuff. So, anyways, um, I appreciate you guys being here, and I've got to jump off. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me to be able to. Yeah, I know. You crack me up, Bozo. You're cool though. But anyways, like I said, I appreciate all you guys a lot. Thanks for being here. It means a lot to me that I do this, and there's actually people here that get on and talk to me and watch. Cause oh, and by the way, man, thanks guys for all your support. Because um, if you're still there, I just passed up 6,000 subscribers. Legitimately, I'm at 6,400 and 6,444 subscribers. So that's pretty awesome. Um, I haven't even had a channel for a year yet, and I would have never believed um, that I would have this many subscribers or this many people who've watched the videos. But like I said, I put a lot of hard work into it and have spent a lot of time. Especially considering that I work and have kids and a family and stuff. I put in a lot of time to it. So, but it's paid off because people are enjoying what I do, and I guess that's what it's all about, is me having fun, and you guys having fun. So yeah, thanks Heather, I appreciate it. Thanks guys. That's cool. Half sleeve Pine Barrens, Steely, Heather, Heidi, Real Dream, Wesley, Helen, Renzo, all you guys. Uh, Thanks everybody. There's probably somebody else watching. If I missed anybody, sorry. I'm about to shut this down. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a good night and stay safe. And if I don't talk to you before then, have a good week at work or doing whatever it is you do.